The first thing you want to do is buy one phone number. Okay. I wouldn't worry about buying multiple phone numbers until you get verified first. Now, if you don't plan on texting, then don't worry about it. You don't even need to follow anything I'm talking about right this second. Okay. Because you don't need to register. But a lot of us like text marketing, text follow up, right? Texting is important. Maybe someone sends you a text. Well, how are you going to respond to them? To add a phone number, we're going to click on add phone number, add phone number again. We're going to click on filter and we're going to choose match to first part of the number. You're going to paste in your area code, so 517, and then we're going to remove the toll free. Okay, because we want to be able to send text messages, multimedia, meaning images, right? If someone sends you an image, a picture of a mortgage statement, you know how agents and sellers send you stuff. And then, of course, you want to make sure it's a local number. So we're going to go ahead and click apply. Sometimes you won't always find the number. Let me just find another area code, right? But let's just say we're interested in this number. This number seems pretty decent, 5668. It's a 550. So notice when you buy a phone number, it will be $1.26, and there's still usage that goes into calls and text messages and so forth, right? So we're going to go ahead and click on proceed to buy. Now, this number is really important because we need to make sure when we message Twilio, right, that if they were to test it, we would get an inbound text and they would get an outbound message saying, hey, reply, stop, to unsubscribe. Like there are some prerequisites, right? So that's why this number right here is actually really, really important. So I'm going to take this number. I'm going to put it aside for now. I'm just going to put it in a note that I have on the side, just so I remember it and I can go back to it. But if I just go back, you're going to see, oh, this is not registered, blah, blah, blah. Before I get into that, to set up your phone number correctly, so you actually receive calls inbound, outbound correctly, we want to edit the configuration. Okay. And we also want to assign this phone number to a specific user, and we'll do that in the staff settings. But for now, we want to enable call connect. We want to disable any whispering, but if you want call recording, you switch this on, and you'll see that if you don't put anything in here, it's going to say this message. We don't want that to happen on a phone call. So what I like to do is just put a space on your space bar. You click space once, and therefore it'll record, but it also won't tell them it's recording. Incoming call timeouts, you can increase this to whatever you like, what are your preferences. And then ring incoming calls, you probably want to select your admin or yourself or a team member or whoever, right? But for now, we'll just go ahead and select that and we'll hit save. Now this is really important. Again, we're going to go ahead and start our registration. Okay. What I'm going to show you the process, it could still fail, right? And usually when it fails is you did something wrong, you didn't follow the directions, your business settings was incorrect, your website was not correct, right? Meaning you didn't fix the terms of service or privacy links. Or they just were trigger happy to decline you, right? It happens. So we're going to do this step by step. We're going to go ahead and click start now, and we're going to click start registering now. So it's going to ask you a few questions, right? Is the business entity you're registering located in the US or Canada? I'm assuming this is a US business. So we're going to keep it as yes. So it gives you a few notices, blah, blah, blah. Really, we want the EIN, right? And so that's why I verified that earlier. Now you can do this through a sole proprietor. It is possible. It's just, it's a little bit different process. So let's go ahead and go through this. Now that he's already filled in his business information. Notice how it auto-populated here. That means I don't really have to do anything here. But notice that the website is here. I want to open this website and make sure it's working. Because if it's not working, they will reject you. Okay. And I will still want to make sure that the terms and conditions and privacy policy, when I click on them, open those pages. If they do not open those pages, go fix them before you continue the registration. Notice I will say that probably 10 times during this process. But verify all your information is in here. Is everything in here correct, James? Before I move on.
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and click continue. Again, it's going to put your business address. Again, it's going to pre-populate it from what you put in the business settings. If, um, let's say this was misspelled, right? Or there was a space. So it looks like there's a space right here in the city. Well, lucky that I found it. We're going to go ahead and remove that space. Same thing with your zip code. Make sure it's accurate 100%. You don't want to have any issues. So it needs to be exactly word for word, period, comma, no spaces, whatever your EIN says. We're going to go ahead and continue this since this is correct. Is this your cell phone right here? In case they do call you, which they probably will not.
That is it.
All right, so here. Now, I recommend everybody do the low volume standard. Okay, you can always re-register for a higher volume later. But the reality is, we're not text blasting, guys. Text blasting is kind of irrelevant in this day and age. Okay, there's a lot of gray zone. There's a lot of do's and don'ts, right? And so I wouldn't really recommend setting up the high volume anyways. It's not worth it. So again, this is through Twilio. It has nothing to do with us, but go ahead and choose acknowledge. This is where it says, oh, we're going to charge you the 20 something dollars and whatever extra additional and so forth. So just keep that in mind. If you don't want this, don't set it up, right? But at the end of the day, there are some benefits to setting up texting and following up and so forth. So go ahead and click on continue. So this is, again, really, really important. Luckily for us, GoHighLevel gives us some examples, right, that we can use and basically just copy and paste and modify. Now, again, right, just because they're examples doesn't mean we're going to use them word for word. Okay. So let's understand what we're dealing with first, right? So what's the use case, right? So examples. What are the best use case that's closer to us? The campaign will be used to reach out to customers who signed up for the updates via SMS. The campaign will be used by our company to reach out to clients who have opted in to receive messages. This is probably the best one. And then there's this campaign sends appointment information, confirmation, reminders. This is more if you like your service site. I like to use this one, the third one, and so here, when you click on see example, you click on this, you can copy, and then you can go ahead and paste it right here. So what's really important though is notice it's going to have company name. Well, you probably want to change it to your friendly business name, right? And so let's name it the exact same thing, Hadron Properties LLC, right? So that's the exact name that he put for his friendly business name. And so that's what's going to show up on all the messaging, and we want it to be here the same as well. So I don't like how simple this is. I feel like people get rejected a lot when this is so simple. So I like to explain it more, and you'll see what I mean in a second. But this campaign will be used by Hadron Properties LLC to reach out to clients who have opted in to receive message. Well, where do they opt in at? Okay, well, let's be, a little bit more explanatory here, right? So we'll say reach out to clients who have opted in on our website, right? I'm going to put a colon and I'm going to copy this. I'm literally going to copy the website because they will click on it and I will paste it, right? So I've opted in on our website in the, what's the right word for it? Hero section, right? Of the page, right? So for those of you who don't know, this portion of a website is called a hero section. And so therefore, I'm telling the rep who's approving you or might decline you to go here because this is where they will make sure it's compliant, right? And so it's in the hero section of the page to receive messages, right? So let's reread this. Reach out to clients who have opted in on our website. We'll put the website in the hero section of the page to receive messages. We can keep it at that. We'll explain more on the second one, on the user consent stuff, a little bit more in detail. But here it says must include lead name, your name, business name, opt-out language. So again, or they're just going to give us examples for the sample message. Let's go ahead and choose one. So, hi, John, this is Jane from company, blah, blah, blah. Our appointment is, or I am following up. Or for us, we're pretty much following up more on people. So I like to use a second message. We're going to copy that. We're going to paste it. So instead of Adam, well, your name is James, right? So we're going to put that in there. And then from, we're going to take your company name again, your friendly business name, where we're going to paste this in here. So hello, this is James from Head. This again, just examples. We're not actually sending these messages to people, but it's an example of how Twilio sees how you're sending out messages. So I'm following up with you about our meeting yesterday. Would you have time to discuss this today? Reply, stop, just cancel. So this is really good. And then the second sample message, again, we're going to choose an example. We don't really use calendar links too much. That's why I always use the one without. So hello, this is Dr. Lee. We're confirming. I'm going to copy that one and I'm going to paste it. So again, we're not Dr. Lee, we're James, right? So this is James from, because you always have to mention your company name in these messages, okay? So put your name, your company name. Notice here it says must include lead name, your name, business name, and opt-out language. Well, it's hard to put the lead name, right? Inside here, you can put whatever you want. The lead name will pop up on your actual automations. But for this, we can put at least our name and our business name and opt-out language. So we have the opt-out language, we have our company name, and we have our name. So again, same thing, from, and we're going to copy the company name again. This is why the examples they give you are not good enough, right? Maybe GoHighLevel should fix these, but whatever. Hello, this is James from Hadron Properties. We are confirming your appointment tomorrow at 9 a.m. Again, reply stop to cancel. We can keep that. This message will include embedded links. No. The message will include phone numbers. No. We're not putting any of that in there. Message includes age-gated content. No. This message includes content related to direct lending or loan arrangement. If you are in that business, you probably want to check this box and be transparent, right? For the purpose of LOI blasting and stuff, we're not doing that, so we can just kind of move on. Click continue. And this is your holding company too, so we probably don't even need it. All right, so this is where we're going to have to be a little bit more explanatory, really deep dive into the user consent, right? So let's go ahead and choose the example again. So we're going to copy this one and we're going to paste it. Again, there's a few things we need to change, right? So end users opt in by visiting the website, filling in their details. Users check a box to receive notifications and promotional messages to provide their consent. Additionally, end users can also text start to, and this is where I save, remember how I saved that phone number earlier? So this is why I copied the phone number earlier and we bought a phone number first, right? Because here is where we're going to put our new number that we just bought, and we're going to use it in case they go ahead and text start to that phone number. They want to verify that your system is correct. Oh, thank you, James. Again, end users opt in by visiting who? Our website, right? So we need to go back to our website and we can copy this. Again, it doesn't matter if it has www or it doesn't have www. Either way, it's going to forward to the original one. So we're going to copy it and we're going to paste it and filling in their details. Well, where are they filling in their details? Again, we're going to say the same exact thing. And filling in their details in the hero section of the home page. Users check a box to receive notifications and promotional messages to provide their consent. And then opt in. Oh yeah. And then I like to say also once they fill the form out. So actually, hold on. This is what I like to do. Users check a box. Well, users fill out the form labeled or named. You can do either one. Named, and I'm going to put a quotation. And I'm actually going to copy this, the title of it. And then I'm going to go back. I'm going to paste it in here and put another quotation. So user fills out the form name blank and checks, right? Fix your grammar or whatever. Checks a box to receive notifications and promotional messages to provide their consent. Additionally, end users also text start to whatever number that you have, you already bought. This is what we need. Again, if you want to be more elaborate, be more elaborate. It's better than having just a basic, because they're going to read this, and if you give them better directions, then they will know whether to approve you or not. And then lastly, we have the opt-out message. You have successfully opted in to receive notifications and promotional SMS from company, right? And again, we're going to paste this. This is the actual message. The automation is already built out. So when somebody actually sends you start, they will get this message, right? And this is what we want to show them, every single time, right? When they go and verify you. So Hadron Properties LLC. And here's the thing, right? Let's go ahead and, you know what? Let me open this up real quick on a new tab because I want to show you something. All right, so if I go back to the automations, and if maybe you turn this off, maybe you didn't mean to, maybe if you're using 1.0 or EasyLOI. So inside of the A2P 10 DLC compliance, you'll see SMS opt-in. You just want to make sure that this SMS right here says you have successfully opted in to receive notification and promotional SMS from, notice how it has the location.name, which is your friendly business name. Reply stop if you need to opt out in the future. Well, when we're inside of here, it should be the exact same thing. If it's not, make sure. Okay, this is where you confirm, right? But I know it's the same right now. We just read it, right? So we can go ahead and keep this. And I know it's going to say Hadron Properties because, well, it uses your friendly business name. So we're good to go on that. Let's go ahead and click on Submit. Now, again, I will repeat myself. If you made a mistake, you will get rejected. If you miss something, you will be rejected. Okay, so follow this step by step. Take your time on it, right? The brand approval will probably get approved in 10 minutes. This one might take 1 to 3 business days. If it gets rejected, it could take longer than that because now you have to resubmit it. Okay. If you made a mistake with your EIN documentation 3 times, you will have to submit me your EIN documentation so I can submit it to Twilio because you screwed up with putting your EIN documentation, your address correctly, your business name correctly, your EIN number incorrectly. Please don't do that. Just verify. It's not hard to verify, guys.